Welcome along and welcome back to Purbeck Valley. Today we are going to be getting cracking on the harvest. Our combine that we got earlier in the year, we're going to get that out now and get that set up. We do have a little bit of rain on the way, so we are going to be disrupted a little bit this morning. But it shouldn't last too long. It's scheduled, or it's forecast for 9 a.m. Otherwise, we've got a fairly clear day till 7 p.m. So as a result, I'm pretty much expecting us to have no problems with it at all. There's a couple of things I want to do around the yard as well. I think we might do a little bit of cleaning up. We've got a lot of rubbish around the yard, and I want to start working on clearing it up and getting really everything into a place where we have a nice clear yard and can start to put things like a fuel tank in, because as you can see here, this tractor completely, well, needs to be filled up. And in fact, there you can hear it as we get the header out, the rain starts to fall. So that's actually pretty good timing. We'll be able to get this set up, do the stuff we want to do around the yard, get the tractor refueled, and then be able to get started on the harvest. A short shower is not something I worry too much about, so let's connect up the header and connect that up there. And yeah, this header is leased. As per everything on here, we can't buy anything unless it's on sale, and yeah, that's the leased header. Let's have a look in the shop, see if there's anything today. Oh, there's a combine, a CH 770 combine. That's actually a bit big for our farm at the moment. The combine we've got is pretty much the perfect size. There's two really nice tractors today, but they are way off anything we can afford. And actually there is an Ursus bale stacker, which would be quite useful. At the moment we got one leased, we can't borrow any more money, and I'm just hoping that stays around for a little while, because at the moment, yeah, we can't afford that. That would be really useful though, although I think that is the bigger one of the two. So yeah, we're good. Otherwise, let's just back this off then. We'll put the header trailer back in the shed. And then I want to move the combine out of the way, because I'm going to deal with that shed that we took out last time. I found something that we can put in its place that's not too expensive and will work quite well for us. Before I do that, though, we need to get the Wolfeurer refilled. And while it's raining, we might as well stay in the cab for a little bit to get this sorted. So we just need to run down to the fuel station here and get it refilled. This is the thing about this. This is why I want a fuel tank on the farm. Driving the combine down here, if we have to drive the combine down here to do this refueling, that to me is a little bit unrealistic. The whole thing that we're having to take the tractor down here to refuel it is a little bit unrealistic to me as well. So we do want to rework the yard a little bit, get some space and put a new fuel tank in, because the fuel tank we've got up there at the moment does nothing. It's a busted fuel tank. Okay, so with the tractor refueled, what we want to do now is start clearing up this yard a little bit. I mean, this is just, we'll get this taken away. So yeah, roll off container, that can go. And oh, look at the space that immediately adds. And then we got all these old bags of, well, they look like seed, but we can't really use them, so we'll get rid of these. Yes. And this is the object hider mod. It's available on the mod hub. It's really useful if on PC you want to customize the yard and the yard itself isn't customizable. It works to remove lots of objects. You can just look at them, press H, and it hides them. I really love it. It's such a fantastic mod for when I want to customize a yard to my own use. And I like a yard like this that has a lot of rubble and stuff to clear away to begin with. But then you want to clear up and use more later. There we go. And let's see if we can get these piles of rubble as well. Are they? No, doesn't look like they're quite so touchable. This is the old fuel tank. We want to get rid of this. Yes. Wow. Let's see how much of this we can get rid of. We may have trouble getting rid of the actual pipe here. Yes. Oh, there we go. Sometimes you do get little bits that are a bit strange like this, that just sort of float there. And this one is really broken up. I got rid of most of it. There's just 2 little bits up the top here. So I had to get the vulture out so I can stand on its cab. Don't want to hide walls, so no. Let's see if we can get at it from an angle here. Yeah, we're not picking out the barn behind it, but... Oh, wow. This is just... We're spending all of our time clearing these bits off. No, okay, I think we can't get those 2 last little bits. That is the downside. It all depends on how a map is constructed as to whether you can get at everything. But yeah, in this case, we're not able to get those last couple of little bits. But otherwise, our tank is gone and we can put a new fuel tank in there. And the beauty is we can put a DEF tank in there as well because we are using DEF. And then, yeah, that's cleaned up the yard enough for me at the moment. There are some pallets down there. We might have to go at those in a bit. But the raid has stopped and we want to get harvesting. So there is one other thing I want to do this morning. And that is to replace the sheds that we removed at the end here. Is that a bit long? That's a bit long, that one. That one looks to be more about the right size. So let's see if we can fit that in here. It's quite a big one, that. I think that's probably too much. So, yeah, this one is the one we want to put. We want to line it up with the end of the shed. And ideally, we want to get it so that it touches the shed at the end on both sides. I think that's about right. And if I position it in the middle, it should allow us good passage across. It doesn't then go weird on the actual shed, and bang, there we go, 2,500, and that's a really good shed. It's almost perfectly in position. That'll do. A little bit of a gap is fine when trying to place something that closely. But yeah, look at all this wonderful storage space we have at the end, and we have space to drive through here as well. That's brilliant. Let's see if we get the combine through and get the harvest started. To be clear, this would have been tight through here with the previous shed as well. We've got a very similar footprint. But we don't have a massive header on this combine, and through it fits here. In fact, I think we can get this combine down the road and not have to put the header on to go to the second field, which would be great. Let's start her up. Oh, start the combine threshing as well. And because it didn't rain too long, I think we should be absolutely fine going into this field. I don't think we're going to sink much, if at all. Nope, we're good. That's a little bit muddy, but not so bad it's going to stop us harvesting. We're about 2/3 of the way around the field. And there's a couple of things that I've noticed. First up, this combine is not great for going up hills. I actually had to turn the header off a little bit further around the field just to reverse it up so that we could turn into the next corner. So yeah, this combine absolutely does not like hills. It's fine for us here because our field really doesn't have much change in elevation at either this field or our other one, so that's fine. But I wouldn't want to take this on any contracts, especially up the top corner of the map. But also, look at the color of our yield around the edge here. We are pulling in somewhere between 100 and 125% yield in this canola as we go around the headland of this field. That is massive. That is a huge improvement on this field last year. And we're going to make a massive amount extra cash from it as a result. And we've made it round to the start again. So we've made all the way around. We are 90% full. So I'm going to get the auger out. And once we get filled up, I'm going to empty it. But already I'm impressed with this. This is going to be a brilliant yield this year from the canola. And with our first tank done on the combine, we'll pull up beside it with this and get it unloaded. A nice orange dump truck trailer that we've got here. Empty that out, and this I think will take 2 loads off the combine, which is a good size for the trailer. This is why we didn't switch it out before when we had a trailer turn up that would actually fit this just as well. We have a trailer that does everything we need, and spending the money to switch things around just didn't make sense. Combine is empty, auger in, and away we go again. I think we'll take 3 headlands. That way we should give our combine enough space to turn. It's this corner down here that's been giving me the problem. This is where I get to the end here and I have to deactivate the header in order to back up. And you'll see here we've got quite a steep bank at this point. And if I try and reverse, the combine just does not move. So we have to turn off the header, and then it gives the combine enough power to actually maneuver around there. So not a huge amount of horsepower in this combine, and it really struggles a little bit with those hills. Otherwise, it's running really nicely, and as we are about 1/3 of the way through our 3rd headland, we are coming up to another full tank again. So we'll get the trailer pulled underneath. Yeah, it should be about 85–86% full by the time we've unloaded this. That doesn't leave enough space for another tank, although it might leave enough space for the rest of this headland. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll do the rest of the headland. We'll come round and we'll empty out the combine after that. And that will then hopefully give us a full trailer and an empty tank to start cutting into the field. Reach the end of the headland and we'll get the combine unloaded. I've got a little bit of space in here. Then we've got about 2,000 to 3,000 litres in the combine. So yeah, that will fill this trailer up easily. Unload that. And yeah, there's 2,500 litres in the combine. I think this will only take about 1,500 litres. There we go. Yeah, leaving us with 900 in the actual combine. But that is enough to put 12,000 litres in the trailer, and we can go and tip this in our shed. Now, the one downside to using these sheds for this is that we never really know how much we have. It's useful to do it as we are tipping them. If we tip full trailers, then we get a good idea. We've got 12,000 litres off here already, which is really good. And this is off our smaller field, off just the headlands. We're going to end up with a decent amount of canola this year. And that is really good. I do not want to put these right at the back because we had a little bit of overflow out the back last year. So let's put this here. And hopefully that means we will be able to get it out of here without too much hassle. I think we might try and get an auger actually this year to empty this out later. This little dump trailer also absolutely perfect for this. It never rises up too high, and so you're never in danger of clipping the doorway on your way back out. So I think it worked out the best angle for us to cut this at is 252. So we'll take it up to that and do a cut in. Still quite a way round from here. 252 there. That seems to align with the bottom edge of the field. Not quite with the top edge up here, but this is the smaller part of the, sort of the 2 sides of this field. So let's put that down and forwards combine. Yeah, there we go. 252. And this is the angle we're going to cut the field at. This field is a really weird one. Part of me wants to set it down to grass. And another part of me goes, well, no, you've only got 2 arable fields. And as weird a shape as this one is, it's still one of those, and you still really need to keep the arable side of things going. But it is a little bit of a weird one. It's a field very much in 2 parts. You have to work it in its 2 parts, as we are doing now. And yeah, I'm never quite sure about it. The way it wraps around at the top end here does make it a little bit difficult to handle. I'm just finishing off this small triangle at the top before we cut in and start doing the really long side of this, because that's the thing. We clear this bit out, we then cut the long side and move on to the other side of the field, and that's how you connect the 2 parts across. Now, I worked this out while I was seeding the whole thing, because that was the easiest way to get the seeding to work. But you can see the 2 sides of it here. You want to try and work it so that the last thing you do is stretch along the other side. So we're gonna come in here like so, go down the middle, and hope that that is the right way to do it. Yeah, the place that I've cut in, it kind of gives me needing to do this other little setch here and then go along the back. It's a little bit of a weird thing. It's got a full 2 widths of the combine to cut along there, and if I don't cut down there, I'm not gonna come all the way back, but I've got to come all the way back and then go down the bottom end. Yeah, this is a little bit of a weird one, but we have got this end of the field done, and the yield is so far up. It's brilliant. Look at that single yellow streak on the mini map where it's last year's yield still, and then this year's where it's just so much higher, and then at the top you can see the dark green of 125% yield creeping in. Got a full tank on my way back up the field. Don't know if there is going to be another full tank off here. We've certainly got the higher yields at the back end of the field here, and that could mean that there is another full tank, maybe even as much as 12,000 litres off here. We got 24,000 litres off this field. That would be amazing. I think it's going to be far more likely to be 20,000 litres. 20,000 litres is still a considerable amount. At best price for canola, that is about 27,000 pounds. So that would be really good. That would give us a very good start to the new year off just this field. We would be able to get some solar panels set up. We'll certainly be able to get some solar panels set up based off of the harvest of both fields this year, which is really what we should have done last year, but the combine came up, and it made more sense to do that at the time. But we won't get distracted this year. We'll get the solar panels in, we'll get the money generating from those, and as a result, the farm should not have any more money worries, because anything we have leased then should be offset by the solar panel income. I've got just over half a tank full at this point, and we've finished off the longer part of here, just getting the best yield we can. I am so pleased with this field. This is about as well as we can do off here. We plowed it, we mulched it, we did everything to get this field in the best condition it could be, and it's paid off. We are getting the best crop we can off here, and it's going to be worth a lot of money to us. I think we're going to switch round and do either sorghum or sunflowers again next year. They seem to prove to be a pretty good crop last year, and I think sunflowers pay even better, and in fact I'm fairly sure sorghum does. I would love to do soybeans, but we won't end up being able to sell them before the end of the year, which is the big problem. So let's line this up here. Now, a lot more of this year is going to be concentrating on the farm, on this farm, and making this as profitable as possible. I don't want to really get into doing more contracts. We should have enough here now to make this farm work. It's looking very much at this point like we might get another full tank off here. We've got 86% full. It's going to be very close. And we're going to at least have 10,000 litres off here, off this, the remains of this field. So that's 22,000 litres in total off this field. That is an absolutely fantastic yield. Yeah, we're over 4,500. If we can hit 4,800, then we will, but we're not going to. That's 4,626. And so, yeah, let's get this emptied and get this tipped into the shed. 4,600 on top of 5,200 is 9,800. So yeah, it's just shy of 10,000 litres off of here for this second batch, this second trailer. Add that to the 12,000 litres we already have. And yeah, that is just shy of 22,000 litres. What a fantastic yield off here. So close to that 22,000 litres. But I'm not complaining. That is way more than we got off this field last year. And so much better. So we're going to just drop this here. Going to go and tip this. And then we're going to go and get the combine down the road to the second field. Because although it's just gone 5 o'clock, it would be useful to at least get it a little bit of the way into that field. So hazard lights on. And off down the road we go. Traffic is stopped, so that's good. As long as we can get out of our gateway, we'll be fine, which we can. And we know we've got a double gateway down the other side. So it's just a small hop along the road here. Not worth taking the header off for this. You just want to get the traffic stopped, go around the road, and it'll all be good. Yeah. Of course, a lot of modern combines have much bigger headers than this, and you just cannot get them down the road in this way. I remember though when we had a lot smaller combines picking around the farms, that you could, if you were just skipping across the road or going a short distance like this was absolutely fine. And our gates are already nicely open for us, so I can turn on my header, I can turn on the thresher, and then down we go with the header. And yeah, clears nicely. Got a little bit of a mess along the headland here, thanks to the strangeness that was going on when we were planting, but we're in and we're away. Interestingly, we seem to have a few weeds that have cropped up around the edge up here. Again, this is one of those areas that is a little bit odd and has some gaps in the crop. So I'm guessing that's something to do with those. It shouldn't have happened on here because we subsoiled, so this was all plowed. We should never have got any weeds at all on these fields. So I'm not sure why that's happened along there. But it does only seem to be a small section of the headland at the top of the field. So hopefully that's not indicative of anything else on here. And like our previous field, we're seeing a big increase in the yield on here. I'm liking that a lot. And just as we make it to the end of the field, Here comes the rain. That timing could not have been better. So I am going to have to go and get the tractor and trailer. We will get the combine emptied, but the rain is putting a stop to everything for today. As a result, as I get a little bit rained on, we're going to leave this here. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.